Ever since the Little Mermaid live action casting was announced, the mainstream media, I should say shamestream media, has done nothing but defend every little bit of this movie and how wonderful it's going to be. And since it's come out, how fantastic it's doing with one pun after another. But there's a few things that they're forgetting, and I'm going to highlight something in this, especially with this article. The Little Mermaid swims towards original animated movies lifetime total at the global box office. Despite floundering overseas, are you tired of the underwater puns yet? The swimming puns? I am. Can we move on? Just a little bit. Little Mermaid is, oh God, I did it again. Little Mermaid is set to swim past the lifetime haul of the animated classic. Oh, that's interesting. During an opening weekend that was more dramatic than most movies. Yeah, because everyone was busy calling the critics of this movie nothing but bigots and bigots. Be careful of saying racist. I don't know what YouTube feels about it, but I just said it. Oh well, moving on. If you criticize any aspect of this movie, well, you're obviously it's because of the casting. Has nothing to do with the poor acting, the poor delivery, the poor pacing, and shitstorm of a CGI abomination. But hey, whatever. I guess I'm a racist. Oh no. During an opening weekend that was more dramatic, I read that already, Disney's Little Mermaid ended up grossing $163 million. And I believe at this time it's about $220 million worldwide, which you would think would be good, but no. If you look into the numbers, it's rather abysmal. In China, it only made about $2.5 million, and that's not a good thing. Most of the discrepancy can be attributed to the soft global opening, which came at around $68 million. That's not good. It absolutely is not good. Little Mermaid has made $130 million domestically and $79 million overseas territory. It's not very often where, especially with the live action Disney remakes, where the overseas box office is, hell, almost half of the domestic. Most of the time, I know with, especially with the Lion King, the domestic was almost double. Now we have the reverse. Could it be because the rest of the world is a bunch of bigots, or it could just be that this movie is garbage? Some people like it. It's definitely for kids, because, whatever. But as far as a wide appeal, it's just not there. But let's move on. Movie costs are reported $250 million to produce, minus marketing. That's what they don't like to talk about. Minus marketing. You got to figure the marketing plus the cut that the movie theaters get. You're looking at $650 million in order to just break even. And like I've said before, Disney doesn't want to just break even. If this movie doesn't hit $1 billion, and I don't think it will, Disney's not going to be happy. It's not going to be a success. Even if it breaks $750 million worldwide for the full theatrical box office, that's not going to make the executives happy at all. But what this article wanted to say is that, oh, it surpassed the animated movie's lifetime. Well, did you happen to adjust for inflation? Because I did some number crunching. Original film directed by John Musker and Ron Clements has grossed $211 million at the global box office. So that's not worldwide, or that is worldwide. Anyway, $211 million. This movie was released in 1989. Now, if you'd like to adjust for inflation, that grand total comes out to $516 million. $516 million. And since this movie has only made roughly 260 now as of today, as of this recording, nope, sorry, you're only halfway there, adjusted for inflation. But bringing up The Lion King and the box office. Now, does this movie have a shot, any sort of chance of breaking even? Well, I did a little digging, and we all know that this weekend, as of right now, as of this recording today, Across the Spider-Verse came out. Word of mouth is definitely going to make or break that movie, and I don't know. The first one did well. I think this one will do well, but here's the competition coming up for the rest of the month of June. We have Across the Spider-Verse. That's going to pull a lot of kids into that movie theater away from The Little Mermaid. It's also 2 hours and 20 minutes. We'll see how that works out. But after that, you have Transformers Rise of the Beast. Even more competition for the kids, for the families. Kids like giant robots fighting giant robots that transform and make all the sounds. So, you're going to pull even more kids out of that market. After that, you have The Flash. Regardless of what your opinion on Ezra Miller is, that movie is going to pull a lot of people into the theaters because of Michael Keaton's Batman. Even more competition that is going to drive the box office down and down off of a cliff for the live-action Little Mermaid. And finally, to end the month of June, you got Indiana Jones and the Diaper of Destiny. So what's going to happen? So far, we have a worldwide box office of 217 million. Oh, I overestimated. I'm sorry. According to Box Office Mojo, $217 million. A generous estimate of a week-to-week box office would be 50%. Some movies go lower. Most movies range in about the 55 to 65%. So, after a second weekend worldwide, this movie's box office is only going to be about $350 million if it's lucky. With the competition coming up, box office is going to fall off of a cliff. No question about it. I'm starting to wonder if this movie's going to break 500 million, much less 6. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I guarantee you we'll get more and more of these mainstream websites trying to cook the books, drum up the numbers, and talk better and better about this movie until it's no longer in their best interests. Little Mermaid live action, I predict it's going to be an absolute failure. And it's rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I appreciate you making it this far. Have a good one.